Alrighty, yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content. So, today is the final video before move day, and probably during move day. So, we're gonna do a full tour of the one-man hive, starting from the very back plot and going all the way to the end. So, starting with plot number 1 here, we are on the plot that contains my water pump setup. This is my first water pump setup. It is 23 water pumps, all being ran into 4 water pumps that are, so it's weird, they're both named water pumps, but being ran into 4 water pumps, which then ran into 4 of water barrels. Now all of these pumps are separately ran into the barrels, trying to keep as much water pumping into them as possible. From there, we do actually have these 4 barrels pumping all of their water into these 6 water tanks, and then these 6 water tanks are all being dispersed separately down into these 6 osmosis purifiers, which are all also auto dispersing into these water tanks. These water tanks get pumped up to this pump here, which is also pumping up this water pump tank, which was originally just a fill tank. This fills up to this water tank, which automatically fills my water irrigators here. These irrigators are built in 2x2 areas at a total of 4x4, 2 tall walls, 2x2, light in the center, 2x2, light in the center, 2x2, and you get it. It's all just a 4x4. Every single one of my crop facilities is just a singular 4x4 on every single plot, and I was able to fill up maximum on the function facility, and even had to delete loamy soil in order to fit other facilities on this base area. Aside from that, we have ourselves some paper dolls going on in here, as well as some buzzy bees and grow shrooms. I did just do a harvest of all of my grow shrooms. My plan currently for the grow facility is to let the rest of the current crops finish growing, harvest all of the grow shrooms, and then be done with the crop facilities. We are going to be tearing the crop facilities down today. We're going to be picking up all the deviations. I want to get them sorted on all of the different accounts. We're going to be doing that through something we have built. This here is the deep freeze area. It's just extra storage for crops when we're not, gonna instantly be using them to make something or something like that. This is pretty much plot 1 on to plot 2, which is primarily a storage plot. So we have the refiners going on here. We have the brewing barrel setup going on here. I have been throwing whatever contaminated crops I have going on just in the barrels right here. I don't actually collect the acid usually. I did collect it recently. As you can see, we only have 100 of it chilling in here right now. We haven't 100% finished the gathering of the seeds on the contaminated plants, but we are pretty dang close, and we are going to go ahead and just, try and get these completely filled up. And I'm actually thinking we can fill these now. At least pretty close, so that's pretty cool. These can be filled. We do have another brewing barrel setup actually going on, though it's probably being torn down because we're moving once again. So as you can see here, more facilities for deviations. We got the primary storage facility. Everything is categorized into different categories. I got rubber here, I got E-parts, I got acid. So then this one's gonna be adhesive. This one is metal scraps. And then we got the spoils chest. That one right there is, I do believe, rusted parts. That one right there should be the crystals. That should be the other parts, so standard, etc, etc. That chest right there. This here is just bulk mist. Ammo and fuel is ammo and fuel. We have ourselves a formula chest, a seeds bank chest, which we actually need to go ahead and deposit some more seeds into. Bada bing, bada boom. And we only have 24 aloe. Okay, so I must have the aloe vera planted somewhere in order to only have 24 like that, because I swear I had a lot more aloe vera seeds planted, and I just pre-boosted a bunch of them. Aside from that, tools, items, limbs, you get it. It's my storage area. This here is my synthesis bench. Let's go ahead and get a quick little shot inside here. This is a plot facility number 1. This is the first vending machine I built. This is one of the acid production alts that uses the sulfur chemist to produce our acid here. It also has spectral cloak unlock, so I sell them for 10,000 EL a piece so that my acid account can actually get the EL needed to make the acid, while also providing spectral cloaks to any account that needs it at any time via a vending machine. 10k EL is a little high, but it's all being paid back to me anyway, so I don't really care. This here is my kitchen area, and another reason why I really want to rebuild is mainly my storage room's lighting is absolutely garbage. It's constantly flickering. I don't know if it's a bug with the game or what. I'm not sure if we're still running in DirectX 11. I tried to swap to DirectX 11 and see if maybe that would cause the lighting to stop doing this flickering thing. Fortunately, it did not. Now, these do have like 1 or so perks, and we have a Chef-Asaurus Rex, but this is by no means a perfect kitchen setup. And once again, the lighting in this game is still buggy, guys. I need to work on it. Aside from that, it's literally tearing my game apart. Alright, aside from that, we have the supplies bench and the gear bench. Can't wait to get out of this plot. We do have some gross rooms going on over here with a water tank running up to there. Now this side did have its own water purifier. We're going to take a quick run by that. Kind of a small one, but it does work. This is where our wish machines are, if you were wondering. On to the next plot here, plot number 3. This is a shooting range area where I can do damage testing and things like that. Aside from there, we're going to go ahead and hop up here. This is the brewing room. This is where all of our brewing barrels have been set up. I was testing out one of the paintable furnitures that aren't currently paintable, and well, here it is. I added some stuff on it to kind of test it out. I really like it as a shelf. I do want to test it out when we do our rebuild, but for now, that is what we're doing with it, just to see what it looks like. Can't currently paint them until the 27th anyway. Secondary storage. So we got gravel, aluminum, tungsten, ore. So I don't really got much of that. Logs. This is another storage for logs. Iron ore. We have 38,000 of that. 36,000 of the copper ore. We got 10 ore down there. I'm thinking it was at 38k when I looked last. Aside from that, there's the other ores chest, which is mainly just for like silver and gold ores, which are low because we just smelted them because the main has the ability to smelt those. 7,000 more metal scraps. Our first metal scraps chest in the primary storage is full now. This is steel plates 01. This is where 20,000 are being held. I have 8 vending machines going here, 1 per alt, and then on the slogan, I actually announced what alt they are, so I know exactly what vending machine goes to what alt. I do want to show you a little bit of how I keep this organized on Google Drive, but that is that for this side really. Aside from there is of course deviations out here. This is a paper doll setup. We got a water purification setup going on here. It's a relatively small one. I might do a guide video over this design, just maybe in a shorts or something, because I think it's a really good design. I think this was actually a 6-pump design. And it's weird to say water pump and then water pump because they're both called water pumps for some reason. They need to rename one of them really badly. Water extractor and water pump. I think those are 2 different names there. This is the furnace setup. It's a 3 setup of a 4 perk with 3 of the flame essences. I activate my flame essences. I go in here and it just starts smelting right off the bat. Another nice thing about 4 perk is I can instantly smelt the sinister brick, and this dealing gets absolutely super fast and no problem. We're not going to claim all of those and over encumber ourselves too much. On to this 4th plot here, the conjoining plot. Now what this plot is pretty much a filler plot. So aside from, you know, having some facilities going on here, we did get a water purification setup going from here. So this is also automatically being fed its water. We'll take a look at the plot facilities here because these are going to be duplicates. So this is the corner one of the 2 4x4s. Well, what would be 4x4s? So see, they go 1, 2, 3 plot facilities. Extra base area there, which is also a part of that. But 3 plot facilities. This would be a 4th, but the 4th one goes into the other square of 1, 2, 3 would be 4th. So these front plot facilities are only 2x2s. One side 2x2, other side 2x2. That's 2 out of 4 2x2s. Every single one of the alt plot facilities are 4x4s or 4 2x2s. I could have spaced them out as 4 2x2s each, but it just sounded like a hassle. Would have allowed for more individualized lighting and avoided any lighting bleed. And I've ran a setup like that in the past, but we'll see when we do the base redesign. Aside from that, we have our compost bins. This is the little camping area for, I guess, Hive members, even though it's a one-man Hive. We got the extra camping carts going on here, you know, extra cooking utensils and stuff for when you go out and camp. Bunch of extra stoves just chilling here. all the tents out for whoever's just camping out in here. This is the camping area. We also got someone back here who really is hooked on the game. They got their desktop PC set up out here. I'm guessing these hosts allow them to tap into the power lines or something here from the street lights, and they be gaming out here. They be eating food. They be cooking food. They got all the supplies out here. It's lovely. I really do like this area. It's even got like a little fishing dock area. Once again, I'm kind of sad I'm moving, but at the same time, I'm hoping to find a polluted zone where I can get 8 plot facilities in one area. Should be a lot of Stardust or store, I will say that. Aside from that, we have a little side entrance or slash exit here. This mainly is used for the trucks. I'm actually able to drive my truck from its spawn point there all the way out this front door, or I can go out the back exit right there. If I was staying in this area, I was going to build another exit on that prop facility. Even though it looks like it's a terrible spot, because even if we exit there, we're going to have to drive down either this road or that road to get our truck out because of the railing. But yeah, this is the center plot. We're going to get on into these final 3 here. I'm just going to do a really quick, brief rundown of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4x4s of plot facilities. I start by just building the maximum function facilities and then taking them away as I add in things. So I've got all 160 containment silos, and apparently I can't see the deviations, but trust me, there are deviations in this. I planned on doing all H37s on most of this side, and then the other side getting all of the paper dolls, but it's mainly paper dolls, Digby's, and H37s. Tons of material, about 1,000 to 2,000 rubber a day I get from this. I did show this in the previous video that I discussed about mods. In that video, I did go ahead and show you just exactly how much materials I am getting from the deviations. As for future upgrades for the deviations, I wanted to go ahead and cover this real quickly. I learned something recently that is a very key important information to learn. So, the Silver Gentleman Nutcracker is very, very good. I don't think it's just him. I'm thinking anybody with here, so to not consume, so that's just not consuming power. That's not going to do anything. And then not consuming mood in a polluted zone, that's also good. Faster in deviation power, working speed +10 for territorial deviations. That's also useful. We could technically use Tin Soldier, but the main one is Silver Gentleman. It will restore mood by 25% chance to restore 10 mood to other territory deviations. That being combined with an extra dimensional cat of Growing Pains 2, I do believe it needs to be 2. 3 will get out of sync, but I'm just going to use 3 anyway, and just have to refresh my cat and my Tin Soldier, or my Silver Soldier. And that's going to allow me to constantly have 100% mood and 100% energy on all of my deviations at all times, which means my paper dolls, my H37s, my grow shrooms, etc., etc., will all be harvesting. I'm just going to need 8 of those silver nutcrackers and 8 extra dimensional cats to place down to actually allow myself to do that. And when I'm actually able to do that, I should be able to get more rubber, more electronic parts, and more things like that from my deviations when I actually do harvest them, and I should be able to harvest them at any time without worrying about having to go through and actually refresh mood like I currently have to do. So this one's out of seeds, that's good to see. This one's out of seeds, that's also good to see. Like I said, I knew I had to have these seeds planted or something. Still a decent amount of aloe vera to go, so the plot facilities are going to be final. This is my first version of a garage idea. I am going to finish this out on the second rebuild of this base on the V2 of the one-man hive. We're going to do the 8-man, we're going to max it out, we're going to get all the vehicles built, we're going to get all the facilities built, get them pumping out the max materials. We're even going to make a few billion energy links, hopefully all in time for this next actual new scenario to come out. But yeah, this is pretty much the base. I wanted to do one final tour of this. Aside from a tour though, this is moving day, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and talk about our moving day plans here. And this is another thing about a one-man hive base that I just never even use. So you can teleport to the other plot facilities instantly and not actually have to walk across the entire thing. What I actually plan on doing here is destroying everything completely. I then plan on going into the vending machines on every single account and just posting every single deviation the account currently any holds that I might want on another account. If it has a deviation that I already want on the account, say for the main for instance, I'm thinking this is where I'm going to keep all the paper dolls at. I want all the Prism Digbees on one account, etc, etc. So without further ado, I think instead of talking about this, I'm just going to show you what this looks like. We're going to go through, we're going to get rid of every single containment silo. I'm going to run through on the main, I'm going to run through on all 8 accounts, and we will be back, and I'm going to show you all of the accounts. We're going to go through and actually get the deviations organized. I'll show you just a little bit of the step-by-step process of that. I'm not going to show the whole process once again. This is going to take me a good 30 minutes, but I'll be back in a minute. So yeah, let's go. Alrighty guys, so I've went through and torn down my entire base. I was assuming that with the release of the update and upon reaching settlement phase at all, servers would instantly be merged as perma-servers. It does seem it's at the end of settlement phase, and if you didn't know, this is settlement phase. So normally when you go to leave a server, you leave right when this phase starts. However, this phase actually lasts 28 days after you reach it. So the patch or the dev notes say, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the dev notes now. Here we are on the dev talk. Here it is. Scenario server will not close. When the scenario ends after its settlement phase, the server will convert into a non-shutdown server. This process takes about 2 hours, during which the server will be inaccessible. Once the conversion is complete, you can choose to remain on the server, return to Eternal Land, or sign up for a new scenario. So ends after its settlement phase. So the settlement phase is 28 days long. So yeah, that reads to me like we could have had our base for 28 more days and probably finished it. But I plan on just building a very slimmed down base in a different area. We might even disperse some of these. We might do like a couple alts in a couple different areas and go with something like that. But regardless, this is what I'm going to call Season 1 of the one-man hive being complete. And Season 2 should be very interesting. It's going to start with, I'm going to call it a temp base, but it's still going to be a very, very nice base. It's just, I'm not going to do the crop facilities. I might keep one. I currently have one still partially up because there's contaminated seeds growing in it. I deleted one full of contaminated seeds earlier like a stupidity. Regardless, yeah, this is the end of Season 1 of the One Man Hive. I hope you have enjoyed it so far. Stay tuned for Season 2. That'll be launching directly after the update, which has now been moved to the March 26th at 3 p.m. I'm not sure on the time zone. You might want to go look for yourself, figure out the time zone yourself. Time zones are confusing. Aside from that, on the 28th, the cross-server, or the cross-character update has actually been postponed till the 28th. And on the 28th, everybody's going to get 2 Phantom Cubes. I'm going to have the rewards on screen now. Another thing about this update coming is, it's just a hype update, guys. They are adding drifting, all sorts of other quality of life changes, all sorts of more reasons to want to play on a permanent server. And guys, this drifting, it just looks so good. But I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Hopefully you've enjoyed the One Man Hive Season 1. This is just everything I've unlocked. I'm going to let it play, but keep it beast mode.